Hi everyone, it's Amy. I'm the roaming historian. I am a professional historian, a history professor at a local college. And during the academic year, I teach history. And when we have breaks or when I am on my non-contractual time outside of the academic year, I like to travel around the world and especially to historical sites and then share them with you now, my viewers. I'm relatively new to YouTube, although I've been posting little clips here and there for years. I'm trying to understand better the platform and really talk more when I'm on the go. One of the things, though, that I have not yet been able to do is really learn how to edit well. So I thought, I made a bunch of clips when recently I was just on a Christmas cruise on the Norwegian Breakaway. And so um, I'm hoping that I will be able to, at some point, be able to come back and do editing of these and integrate these clips. But for right now, I thought I'll do a little talk with you beforehand. And then when it won't come as a surprise when we'll have some clips. So recently, for you who are new to the channel, I was for Christmas, over the Christmas holiday and New Year's holiday, we were on the Norwegian Breakaway, my husband and I, and it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. In fact, I have some of the earlier video where I talk about the ship itself and what I like and dislike about it. And then on my blog, roaminghistorian.com, I have a little preview coming of a blog that should be published next week. And that blog will overview our time on the Norwegian Breakaway. And I also talk about our Christmas port that day, which was the Dominican Republic, one of my favorite ports on the cruise. Today, I thought I'd take you to the next two ports. And so these are the ports that we were at for December 26th. We were in Puerto Rico, San Juan, Puerto Rico. And then the next day, we were in the St. Thomas and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So on December 27th, we're on the U.S. Virgin Islands on St. Thomas. And both of those ports were pretty cool. I'll show you some here. I'll go over and show you some of our photos. So for the Puerto Rico one, we decided that was the only one where we got an excursion. And of course, we're not avid cruisers. We cruise once in a while, but we're avid travelers. And so I tend to like to get a feel for a place myself. And I like to use tours to have like locals enhance something for me. So for instance, it doesn't matter that I have a PhD in history. I'm really focused on legal American history. I'd love to have local historians or cultural enthusiasts who have studied the place to bring it alive for me. And so once in a while, I like to do that. And that's what we did this time. We had a driving tour of San Juan, where the guide was very knowledgeable. She took us all over, giving us both a history and a cultural lesson of Puerto Rico. And so you can definitely tell that this is you can see the US influences throughout. And here I am in front of the I Love Puerto Rico sign. You find these signs all over the Caribbean, and I think they're quite fun. And then just here's some of the local art. There were statues that I found. And this is the Condado district. And so she was talking about these right when Puerto Rico starts to become like a tourist destination. So you've got a lot of mid-century hotels in this area that tend to look like they're 1920s. They were going for more of an Art Deco kind of feel. And here, this beautiful one, we were able to go and go into the resort area. And so this is all part here. This part you see is just beautiful beaches and wonderful areas. Then we got to go over, and she really took us all over the place to the more government districts of San Juan, the old San Juan. So we went from the cruise port was the furthest away from old San Juan. It's quite a drive. I would recommend if you're in that cruise port, there's two cruise ports there. From what I understand, one of them actually is located in old San Juan itself. And so then you could kind of step off the cruise and be right there. The other one, the Pan American Pier, where we were, Is quite a bit of ways. In fact, it's right by an airport, which, kind of delightful if you like to watch planes take off and land. You can send the ship and watch that. That's kind of fun. But it's quite a bit of a drive. So it's definitely worth investing in getting somebody to take you over there or having a driver once you get over to Old San Juan and setting that up. And I'll have some links below for like Viator and things like that where you can do that. So anyways, we went on the tour. It was a couple hours, and we got to go. Unfortunately, we didn't get to go in this fort. We got to go up to it, take a few pictures, but it wasn't included. We did get to see the beaches around that area, though. Gorgeous places. I mean, just visually stunning. San Juan is, I have a feeling, it's one of those places where a couple hours just didn't do it justice. There was a lot to see there. And being kind of restricted with time that day, we didn't get to see all the things that we would have liked to have seen. And so the next port, we actually, I thought, got to explore a little bit more thoroughly. And that's because the area where we were located was a little bit more clustered, and that's in St. Thomas, the U.S. Virgin Islands. And once again, you can really see the imprint. Now, this actually had the touristy kind of port area where you get out and there's all these shops, and then you have to get through that area. And that's when you actually get to the city itself. When you're in, and that was Charlotte Amalie. When you're in San Juan, on the other hand, not the same kind of feeling. When you're in San Juan, you end up going, you're kind of like funneled into this really just big garage, industrial garage, for lack of a better word. And then they have tons of shuttles that are then there to take you out and get you out into the area and take you down to Old San Juan. And so the shuttles will go back and forth, back and forth. So if you want to, you can take a tour. And most of the tour companies will pick you up right where all the shuttles drop you off at. I think it's Palazzo Cologne or something like that. In St. Thomas, it's a little bit different. You can walk out, you can do some shopping, and you could never venture any further. We decided to venture further, and I'm glad we did. We stumbled across this lovely little park here. First off, I wanted to just show you, you can see the reindeer here. And so there was lots of, Feliz Navidad signs all over and Christmas decorations. And here we went to this Franklin Delano Roosevelt Park, where there's just lots of chickens roaming. I saw so many chickens roaming around this island, and I really enjoyed that. And then we went to this shopping street, Dronningen's God, or Main Street. And this was, just a nice little street with some higher end stores on it, as well as some lots of jewelry stores on it. And then when you came back down, so you've gone up just a little bit up the hill. Dronningen's God was maybe, a little bit higher elevation than the street that's running along the waterfront. But it's not so far up. And then when you came back down, there was a lovely, once again, another fort there. And there you can see the fort. So here you can see, you walk along this walkway, and you can see it's very accessible. For those of you who might be new to the channel, my husband has mobility issues, and so we often use a folding mobility scooter when traveling. And so this was really nice and smooth for that. We had no problems whatsoever. And then we came all and walked around here. Say it was probably a 20-minute walk. Lots of people were taking these little, I don't know, they little shuttles. They kind of look like open Jeeps. And so they were taking those, but I really enjoyed the walk. It was a beautiful day and a beautiful scenery. So I was happy to do that. And right by this, behind this fort here, then was more of a local fair. And so that was really nice. Actually, I found a wonderfully talented artist, and so she, I bought some pieces off of her, some just little small pieces, but she had some paintings as well. And I was able to buy a magnet that she designed and a beautiful bookmark and things like that. But anyways, I found that place to be kind of neat, and enriching all itself. So yeah, so then we just wandered around St. Thomas, and there wasn't, like I said, really it's the shopping there. I didn't see a lot. A lot of the people who were doing this, they were going to snorkeling expeditions, both in San Juan actually and St. Thomas. A lot of them were going on more beachy kind of things, and you definitely, you could go out to the beach. There was lots of area, places where people were going to just go and have a day at the beach, or they were going snorkeling, or they were going on some type of little boat ride, things like that. And so here's the chicken. And this is, I had wandered over to the yacht club next door and next door to the port and the yacht club. I was just enthralled with all these chickens running around. And I liked how there's this juxtaposition of you had, the Caribbean influence, and you could definitely see harkening back to the history of the island itself, juxtaposed with the fact that it's very much a U.S. area. And so that, you can see the United States Postal Service, the United States House of Representatives, Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett. And so this was at the Haven site, and Haven site was the name of the pier. Anyways, both of places I thought were really fun, and I'll upload a few clips from each of them that I took so you can see some on the scene reporting from me, for lack of a better word. And I hope you all have a great day. Leave some comments if you've been there and you think there are places that we should be visiting the next time. I know we will be back in, I think, St. Thomas. I'm not sure when the next time we'll be back in Puerto Rico is, but we should be back in St. Thomas again, hopefully in 2025. So if you've got some ideas, I'd love to hear them, or tell me about your favorite times. And so ciao for now, and have a great day. And I hope everyone has happy travels.